Jesus. What's wrong with you? Wake me up. You gotta be looking when you clacker. When you do the clapper. Clacker. Clacker?
Yeah. That scare you? Huh?
Yeah.
You gonna cancel me?
Pot on. Pot off. Scared the shit out of me. Look. That's why this chair's brown.
It's all over the poopy. Guess you're gonna cancel me now, huh?
Canceled.
I'm canceled. Because I made him poop.
Poop joke.
Welcome back to the Gentleman's Sit-Down. We are an untraditional podcast.
Trying to be traditional gentleman.
I am Satirius D. Lemitius.
And I'm Joshua Callahan.
Links down in the description for the social media.
Right there, look at it.
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
Subscribe buttons, follow buttons,
Comment.
bells, there's comment section.
Bells, whistles, shoot a whistle at me.
Likes, dislikes, shares, all that stuff.
There's a kazoo button. Hit the kazoo button. Neat, neat.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Come on. Leave a like, comment, share. At the end of the video, if you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, dislike it. Leave a hate
You
comment.
can dislike it. Do the thumbs down thing.
Yeah. Leave a hate comment. Let us know how terrible it is. Maybe we'll take a look at it and we'll try to reconfigure. Or not. Anyway. Cancel culture.
Oh, you get canceled. There's a cancel button. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no cancel. This feels like sometimes there's a cancel button. You say something, do something the wrong way. Boom. Canceled.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about today. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
And it's a culture. We say cancel culture now because it's a habit. It's a thing that people do.
There's groups of people.
It's a movement.
Yeah, there's like
I just had in my chair.
Yeah. There's groups of people, and they get together and then, they just look for things to try and cancel people.
Troll and it started out with trolls and haters.
Yeah.
But guess what? Those trolls and haters now have like subscribers and friggin' followers and influencers. So now they want to promote their agenda. It's not more of an agenda like I have a plan or a plot. It's more like I have an axe to grind. I want to get a rise out of canceling someone.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
It's kind of true.
It's like the modern version of like, torches and pitchforks like back in the day.
It's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein all over again. Mary Shelley.
Mary Shelley.
Canceled.
Great book.
It's always been around. It's not a new thing.
Yeah.
It's trendy right now. Oh, we don't like them, right? Yeah, we don't like them. Let's cancel them. We'll cancel them.
Yeah,
okay.
and they're ruining people's careers just because they don't like something. Okay, or they're
jealous of it.
For example, Metallica. Metallica's the biggest band on the planet.
The planet.
Right? The planet. They're the biggest band right now.
Biggest,
right?
baddest, rockinest band alive.
And they're trying to cancel Metallica because of the way they got rid of Dave Mustaine and the way their relationship was with Jason Newsted. And it's like, what are you guys talking about?
They tried to cancel Guns N' Roses because the way Axl Rose was back in the day too. It's like, let them play the music. Okay, McStain. What was the story there? I don't know the name.
Dave Mustaine. He's now the creator and the one of the lead guitarist, lead singer, and the one of the lead music writers for Megadeth. He created that band. He created that band.
Did you memorize his Wikipedia page?
No, I'm a fan of Metallica, and I know these bands. I know these people.
I'm a fan of Metallica too, from listening to them.
Yeah, but I know the history of Metallica.
That's good. You studied it. That's what I'm saying. You sound like a studied.
Well,
so, like, what happened? He was canceled because the way he formed the band?
So Dave Mustaine, from the story I understand, obviously I wasn't there. The story I understand is when Metallica was freshly formed around 81, 82, 83, right? Dave Mustaine was in the lineup. He was their lead guitarist. And the guy could shred. He's a really talented guitarist.
Melt people's faces off with his axe.
With Metallica, they drank back then. They drank a lot back then. And Dave Mustaine.
Whiskey from a jar and stuff?
Well, they were drinking.
Okay,
it's a joke because it's already covered. Anyway, only Metallica fans get the joke. Anyway.
Wait, So you're telling me these heavy metal rockers drank a lot?
Yeah, like every other band back then, doing the, they didn't.
What? Next thing you're gonna tell me is he did something stupid because he was drunk
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. He was
after a concert.
He didn't do anything stupid. They just didn't let. The story I understand is, how you get your silly drunks and your angry drunks, right?
He was an angry drunk.
He got very aggressive when he was drunk. That's what they were saying. They didn't say he was an angry drunk, but he did get aggressive. He was a little more, aggressive when he was drunk. And they didn't like that. And that was apparently one of many reasons why they got rid of him. And they kind of woke him up one day, and they told him, "Hey, listen,
You out.
Yeah, you're out. We have a ticket for you to go back home, a bus ride back home, because they were
on an airplane.
They were on their way to the East Coast to record their first album, for Kill 'Em All, and
So
and
this
they're
is like
like,
at the
"Listen, you're
beginning.
not in."
Beginning.
Yeah, very
They're still
beginning.
trying to cancel him from the beginning.
Very, very beginning. It was the very beginning.
What's wrong with you people? Who started?
And,
Who started this?
I don't know. These fucking people.
It was like
And
back then, and then it died out, and now it's coming back. People trying to cancel him still, or again.
I don't think people were trying to cancel them at all. Until now about it. But this is business. This is how it works. I mean, the guy.
You know how many bands existed
And
where
did
they got
crazy
rid of
shit.
somebody from the beginning because they couldn't keep up, play up, or do whatever, or wake up, or friggin' stay sober? A lot. Almost every band in the 70s has a story. The Beatles has a story. The guy, they're not trying to cancel the Beatles because the one guy got, I don't know. I don't know the story, so I can't really speak to it. But I know there was a guy, and he didn't make it, and they went on to become the greatest band in the world. Debatable, but they're not trying to cancel them.
No. But that's, it's one guy, And then the Jason Newsted stuff, apparently Jason Newsted got hazed a lot, which is probably true. But it was, he joined a band that just lost their bass player from a tragic accident that caused his death. And they got, yes, it's not an excuse, but they got this new bass player in Jason Newsted, who was a phenomenal bass player and only got better since he joined Metallica, and he was a great contributor to the music, especially in the Black Album.
So it's like maybe not the most well-known, probably known cancel culture, but you hear about like comedians getting canceled and famous stars and celebrities because they step in it. They say something stupid, or they're trying to be funny and it doesn't land well and people don't like it.
Yeah.
So they get people behind them. It's like, we're gonna go cancel them because I'm hurt.
Yeah. Like Dave Chappelle and Bill
What do
Burr.
what do they call that?
Those are like the prime targets now for cancel
Victim
culture.
signaling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a victim.
Yeah, I'm a victim because of words. Everyone is. Now, granted, a lot of people get harsher words thrown at them. That's the truth. And we do got to watch out. Cancel culture isn't always evil. Cancel culture, I remember in the beginning of cancel culture, what you would call, I guess, the beginnings of cancel culture, we were catching real people that were doing messed up things, right?
Yes, absolutely. I say canceling is a tool.
Yeah.
A cancel culture, a culture of canceling, that's kind of bad.
That's bad.
That's like a trendy, that's because you're getting on a bandwagon because you like the drama, oh, look, he's canceled. Let's see him fall, see them, or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's watch that.
Like
Because
people
I'm mystified by
people
it.
tried to cancel Justin Bieber because
Tattoos?
I don't know. He
he
was
a punk?
He was like a party guy, and he was a womanizer, and they wanted to cancel. Some people tried to cancel Leo DiCaprio because he dates these really young girls, But they're all in their 20s. They were like, "What is going on here?"
I tell you what's going on. The same thing always goes on in the human race. People get jealous, they get upset, and they want to, look at me. I'm a righteous person. I know better, and you guys should know better. You're canceled.
Yeah,
It's the whole thing. So yeah, any tool can be used for good or for evil. Canceling is the same thing. The idea of canceling someone, like, listen, you have a platform and you're spitting that vitriol, that hate, or that whatever it is, the power to cancel is in the toolbox. I don't think it should be the first tool you go. You don't
Can't
go
abuse
for a
it.
hammer.
Can't abuse
You
it.
try to go for a screw and screw it in, screw it out, whatever. You don't just go banging at it.
Like-
That's a bad
Like
analogy.
Gina Carano almost got canceled.
Oh,
It's just like she was just talking about how right wingers they can't say what they believe or what they want because they're gonna get scrutinized or canceled because of that.
and she
And so
equated
she
them getting
equated that.
canceled to being gassed and killed in a concentration camp.
Well, I think she equated she,
See, this is another thing that happens. This game of phone tag. Well, I
yeah,
heard
that
she
too.
said, he said, and then before they said what? And then they
Yeah,
want to cancel them. It's like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to
yeah.
understand.
I don't know the full extent of what she said or what her equating was, but I do agree that it was a bad analogy, you know?
I use analogies, and sometimes they're bad analogies, but sometimes you try to find a descriptive way to explain something to better understand it.
Yeah.
But an analogy doesn't give you the details, it gives you the overall thing,
Yeah.
It gives you the
I think
feels. It's like a
I think
poetic
if
license.
and you know, like in that circumstance, people were so quick to jump the gun on canceling her instead of thinking, well, you know what?
Well, that's the culture.
Why aren't we thinking she feels very extreme? She feels very passionate about her opinion that she made such an extreme analogy,
Because
you
of
know?
grandstanding. She wants to be heard, so she has to say something riveting and
Yeah.
compelling to get a reaction, a like or something, or
Yeah.
get someone to
But
follow
like
them or vote for them.
why couldn't we think of that first? Oh, because she's, maybe she had a point. Maybe because she's a right winger, she got treated that way.
Oh,
You
I
know?
just got an alert. I just got canceled.
You know what I'm saying? But like who knows? I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I'm also kind of like, I'm a little bit in the middle on that situation.
I don't
And
know.
with cancel culture, it's like,
There's
like
still
I agree,
people.
you shouldn't have a culture around
Yeah, people
canceling.
waiting by the button to hit the cancel,
Yeah.
but boom, cancel.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And comedians who are pushing the envelope, these artists who say things like they're always on the edge for us to make us laugh or to be like, a social kind of like commentator on the way things are.
Right.
And, I think George Bernard Shaw, he stepped in a lot since high society back in the day saying weird, outlandish things. But it was really to be a social satirist. He's using satire. And I just, I don't think everybody should get a pass, but I think if you know you own a comedy show and you know they're going to say something to piss you off or rile you up in a funny way, then you got to be open-minded to it. Like you're going to hear some bad things. Sometimes if they do things in life, it has a negative effect on their career, and they can be a tool. There are some bad actors, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think you should try to cancel historical figures. That's kind of weird.
That's another big thing. I feel like, history.
They're dead.
History is, but history, yeah, exactly. They're dead. How are you going to cancel them? You're going to
History
blot them out of
happened.
history. You're going to black them out of history. You're going to wipe out what happened to them.
You're going to
History
use a time
happened.
stone and erase it. You're like, what are you?
History is
fucking Thanos.
yeah, history
Snap 'em?
is history is filled with all this, strife and horrors and
Bad things happen.
Yeah. And it's important for us to remember that stuff, to read on that stuff, to learn about that stuff. Because if we forget about that stuff, it's going to happen again. It's not going to happen the same way it happened.
Forget how horrible we are to each other.
Yeah.
Then we're just going to continue to be horrible to each other.
Exactly. The only reason why we're in a society right now where we are granted with this tremendous opportunity to live in a society where we can actually cancel
speech.
people for these horrible things tells us something pretty huge here, that we've come a long way because of what we've learned in history, and also the whole situation with the world wars and the aftermath of the world wars also taught our societies a lot.
Freedom of speech should be free. You should. There are consequences. There are consequences to saying something, right?
Yes.
But you should still have the freedom to say it, no matter how bad or how good it is. Obviously, we want more good. I mean, I do, but you hear bad things. And then you see, I understand who you are for the bad shit that you say. Be free to speak it, because then it tells me more about you. You don't try to cancel
Yeah. And I had a friend of mine.
Stifle
I had a friend of mine who made a really good point. During the 90s and early 2000s,
I can talk about that. Yeah.
liberals, there was a different idea about liberal. Liberals were kind of a different idea to how they are today. And I'll explain, because it probably sounds weird.
Here we
But
go.
But liberals back in the day were fighting for genuine freedom of speech, right?
Mhm.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And they were even fighting for, like, they were saying they were fighting for the right for these extreme groups like the KKK and the neo-Nazis to allow them to have their peaceful protests because they have that right as an American citizen to do that. Even though we extremely disagree with what they have to say, they still have the right to do that. And liberals, were fighting for that. It's like, listen, I don't agree with you at all whatsoever. I think you're egregiously terrible. Okay? I don't know if I used that word correctly.
No. Don't go.
But extremely terrible. But
The things you do are egregious.
yeah, the things
But
you
you're
do are
terrible.
egregious. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Um,
I don't know what you meant.
but you are an American citizen. You clearly are passionate about what you're talking about. If you can speak about it peacefully without harming anyone, then you have that right to do that. But nowadays, it's not, liberals aren't like the liberals, modern liberals, like the current liberals of like the
They're called
20s, the
progressives
2020s.
now or
Yeah,
something.
they're more, I guess, progressives now. Yeah,
That's the
and
term that they use.
but they don't. They're fighting against that. Now they're trying to cancel people for
you
stuff
can't
like
say
that.
that. You can't do.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't say that. You can't say this.
It's going too
Everything needs
far.
to be censored. You're not allowed to speak this way. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to say the wrong thing and learn from that. Like, there's so many people. Like, I've been in situations personally. I'll be honest. I've said the wrong thing, and I didn't know I said the wrong thing until I said the wrong thing. Am I going to be canceled for that because I said the wrong thing without realizing I said the wrong thing? How am
Well,
I going
you
to
wouldn't-
learn? How am I going to learn
Yeah.
without making the mistake?
The idea that you can shut somebody down for talking. Like, I remember I was having a discussion with somebody, and they said the wrong thing, and I brought it up. They just said an erroneous thing, like it wasn't the correct thing, but they believed something that they heard that was out there, and it was like, no, it was actually, it's hard to talk about it because without giving specifics.
Right.
But in essence, I said, no, you're trying something on for size. You're trying to say something and develop an idea. I'm open to it. I'm open to your idea based on what you've heard and what you know from your perspective. But fact v fiction, let's talk about the fact. And then so what you're actually, your idea that you're actually repeating is a fiction, you know? So you got to understand the difference. And so I didn't try to stifle that person from talking. It's like, I want to listen. I want to hear your perspective. And it's not like I think I'm better than you because I understand a fact. It's just like, oh no, you're my neighbor. I want to tell you that this is the fact. And we can look it up together and we say, oh, see, yeah, okay, yeah. Now we understand it both together.
Exactly.
But that makes
Sometimes
sense. I felt
Yeah.
that was a long story
no,
for
no,
a short
no.
idea.
It's the same. It's like we're hitting the same point. It's like sometimes you need to trip and fall. You need to make a mistake. You need to say something stupid.
Just like history.
Yeah.
The human race has tripped and fell many times to each other, worlds, cultures, races, countries, and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, our map has changed 1,000 times. And
And horrible things happened while that map was changing.
yeah,
Horrible things.
but we learn from that.
Yeah.
We don't try to erase it. Give me that eraser.
The only reason
didn't
why,
happen.
the only reason why we've gotten better and why we're still continuing to pursue that betterment of us, right, is because of what we remember from the horrible things that happened.
I hate when people try to cancel artists too. It's like, artists, there are
Hey.
people that you don't know from going way back in history, artists from history who've done horrible things. Or they're human, okay?
Yeah.
Just because they can paint beautifully doesn't mean that they're good people. But
Hitler was a great painter, apparently, and he was a horrible fucking human.
he also wrote a book, right?
Yeah, he was.
But you don't want to cancel the book. See, that's another thing. You
Yes,
can't like, no, that exists.
because it is freedom.
People
of speech.
believe that. Why do they believe it? I want to read those words and understand why did they believe that.
Yeah. What
You
is
know?
this guy's mindset?
Yeah.
We have the right,
The same thing
as
with
intellectuals, to learn what the thought process behind this madman, so that we learn. Oh, these are the
this
traits.
Sounds like certain madmen of today.
It could
They're
sound like
pushing
that.
the same
but
thing.
exactly. You learn the traits and the signs and the thought and the pattern of someone
Yeah.
who is on the wrong path.
I mean, I was talking about like artists, but that's another example. But like,
Yeah.
should the art still exist? Picasso, though he's horrible to women, should you take away his art? Like, no, I would argue that it can live on separately and you still get a reaction. Same thing from poets. You know, the thing about poetry, they don't get canceled like as much as like say comedians or something, is because you can interpret it.
Yeah.
You can interpret it differently,
Yeah.
even though they might be talking about something as racy as, you know, they may be writing a poem about a butthole, but you think it's about a cave and a seaside cave or something. It's like, this beautiful cave. I'm like, do you know it's about a butthole? No. Okay. And then you learn. But it doesn't mean just because you found out it's about a butthole that you cancel the poem. Like poetry still exists.
Exactly.
See, it's a bad analogy. I'm going to get canceled for that analogy. I don't mean it. I take it back. I'm rewinding.
It was a funny analogy.
I was.
And it served, it served its point.
Yeah, that was the point. Like, you know, everybody has an asshole, you know.
And everybody can be an asshole.
Everybody can be an asshole. You have a right to be an asshole.
You should have the right to be an asshole. Because otherwise, how are you going to learn?
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Exactly. You're not always going to be right. You're not always going to do it the right way. And people should have the freedom to experience that and learn from it. If it becomes a problem when that person doesn't want to learn from it and they want to continue to
shut down. They say,
exactly.
I don't want to go forward. I can't listen to this. This is wrong.
And then they want to continue the problem that they have been made aware of. That's when it's a real problem. That's when canceling should then be like, okay, you know, you've been warned, and we gave you like 3 warnings, and we tried to teach you, and you're not learning. You're repeating. So now we're writing it down. We're gonna.
Who's the we? Who's the people writing it down?
We're forming the cancel card right now.
See that? Who holds the cancel card?
Just saying, it should be people, but it should, you know, you gotta, you know, I don't know. We gotta take a chill pill. Is all I'm saying. This canceling shouldn't have a culture.
But then you have people, exactly, that's what I was going to say. Cancel shouldn't be a culture. It shouldn't be a culture of, and that's what's a problem. But then you think about religious fanatics. They have a belief system that's part of their country, their people, but it involves canceling somebody else who isn't. What do you do with that?
Sounds like nationalism.
Respect. No, it's not. It's ideology. It's not like it
ideology.
could be for a country. Yeah, it could be. You know, some countries primarily have a certain group of people that believe that. But I'm thinking about the faith, because that spreads across borders.
You have to have a respect, I guess, for it. You know,
you got to be open minded to it. But when they start canceling other people, it's like, wait a sec, who are you to cancel me?
Like Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's
making up words.
No, he's a man. He's an MMA fighter. He's married. And I don't know the details. I'm not, you know, well versed in the details on why he does this.
I'm thinking Salman Rushdie.
I have a very he's Dagestani, I think.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I have a very basic understanding of why he does this, and I might be wrong. So, but I don't think I'm wrong. Well, I just might be off a little, but he doesn't like to shake hands with women because he's married. And I think it has to do with him being married. He's like a committed man. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to really touch other women or something like that.
It was like Mike Pence couldn't be in a room with another woman or something unless his wife was there. Something. There was like a thing. Anyways, go ahead.
He can't be alone in the room with
So what, he got canceled? Or he wanted
No, he didn't get canceled. I'm just saying it's like an example of what you're trying to say, where like the religion and faith,
that's a custom. You know? A custom is different. Yeah. Custom is, this is what I do, but I don't impose it on you. This is the way I am with you, right? But saying this is what I believe in, believes that you don't exist, you can't say that, we're kicking you. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm like, wait a sec. I don't believe in Satanists, right? Mm-hmm. But if they start killing things and smearing blood on my door, then we have a problem.
There's a big problem. That needs to stop.
Don't be touching me, my property, and don't. You can do a little seance that I don't believe in. If you believe in it and something's going to happen, great, good for you.
Yeah.
But skedaddle, get away off my property. Don't touch my face with the blood. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So basically our point is what? Cancel culture canceling shouldn't be a culture.
But canceling is a tool in the
Cancel
toolbox.
is a tool in the toolbox, and it's ultimately
society.
it's something.
I don't like it.
It's something that it's not. It's like a cop. Here's an analogy. Maybe it's not a great analogy. I think it's a good analogy. It's like when a cop goes to arrest someone. All right, the first thing they grab shouldn't be their gun. Should be their taser. Right? You should be able to incapacitate the person.
Say whistle.
Well, you should be able to incapacitate the person without, killing them. Right? It's the same thing. When someone has made a mistake, no matter how dreadful, right?
Grab your gun.
Don't grab your gun right away. Don't cancel them right away. Maybe they need to learn. Maybe they need to make the mistake.
Yeah, let people step in it, especially if it's a speech related thing. Actions, it's different.
They're very different. Very different.
There's action and reaction. Yeah. I think we covered it.
Actions speak louder than words.
That's true. That's true.
I think we covered it.
I think we covered it.
I've been Steers Steelomitius.
I've been Joshua Callahan.
Leave a comment down below. Let us know.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
You've been canceled?
Yeah.
Tell us why.
And let us know if we're wrong. If you think that we're wrong, give us your opinion.
Ding a bell.
Tell us how we're wrong. We're here to learn too. Maybe we misstepped.
Did I step in it?
Yeah, maybe.
Did he step in it?
Yeah.
He step in it.
Come on.
Come on.
But yeah.
Be open-minded. I'm open-minded.
Open-mindedness. We got to start practicing it as a society again.
Open-minded culture.
Yeah. Open-minded culture. We've been the Gentleman's Sit Down. We hope you have a great week. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace to all.